Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Today, if you can't tell, I'm bringing you a new world video. Very simply, this is going to be about power leveling, how to increase your levels the fastest way to level your character, get high tier gear, level up your region standing reputation, such as leveling up your Brightwood reputation. Great way to earn Azoth as well for easy teleportations. Honestly, it's just all round the best strategy that I've come up with or found. Also, it's also a very good way to have fun and not just be stuck doing the same brain dead thing. I mean, it is very repetitive, but it's not, for some reason it doesn't get boring, okay? And I'll explain it. You'll understand once I explain it, basically. Just before we get into it, the way this method came about, a little bit of backstory, is it's quite funny actually. I saw in the chat one night that people were kind of just forming groups for corruption events, the breaches, the portals, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go along, I'm going to go and see what this is about, see what the rewards you get are, see how good the XP is, and you know, it was alright. And then, not long after that, after myself and a couple others would post in chat maybe every 10 minutes, 5 minutes, something like, join the Zerg, join history, easy XP, currently in, and then we'd say our location such as South Weaver's Fen or something. And soon after that, it grew crazy fast. Within an hour, we had a group of about 50 to 60 people roaming around doing these corrupted portals, these corrupted breaches. And let's just say it was going very quickly and people were having a lot of fun. So that's basically the backstory. It was actually very, very funny. A lot of people got very annoyed with us in chat and were like, shut up, stop spamming. And it's just like, bro, we're just memeing. We're just saying, join fucking history, get XP. It's not serious. So we got some butthurt people. Emo Bob, if you're watching this video, fuck you. With that out the way, let's get straight into the video. So starting off, I'll just get straight into the data I have managed to find. The amount of XP you earn is pretty crazy, at roughly 5,000 per every 5 minutes if you were to break it down. Now, using this method, in about 20 hours or so of playtime, I managed to go from level 34 to 53. That's about a level every hour and a half, which doesn't sound great. When you say, oh, I leveled up once in an hour and a half, you're like, really? But then if you compare that to anything else, such as questing, side questing, all of that stuff, that's going to be falling pretty short of that. That's probably going to be maybe a level every 3 hours, every 2 3/4 hours, depending on how much XP you're getting for these quests, of course. The good thing about this is that you don't need to be a high level doing high level quests, such as doing the level 55 main story quest and getting 7,500 XP. You don't need to be doing that, because if you're a lower level at about level 20, you'll be getting about 2k XP per mission. And that's, sometimes it can take you 3 minutes because it's like, oh, TP over here, go and speak to this person. But other times it's going to have you going across the map and not digging up stuff, but like searching stuff or killing an X amount of pirates or whatever. And it's just not consistent because the quests are always changing. Anyway, that's basically the data, I guess. It goes very fast and it's just very easy. It's much better than doing quests or elite mission grinding. And bear in mind, these level 34 to level 53 were in the high levels, so it requires more XP per level. So realistically, if you're doing this around level 20, which is probably the minimum I'd recommend, you'll be getting a lot of XP and leveling fast, basically. Now, you may be asking yourself, why am I going to do this instead of the main missions when they give me 3k XP and roughly take about 2 minutes sometimes? And as I just mentioned, that's purely because of consistency. It literally, this method relies, pardon me, on one variable being consistent, which throughout all of these hours of grinding, oh my god, I need to burp again. All these hours of grinding, this variable never failed me. Just portals spawning. Portals were constantly spawning, whereas these quests always changing. They're always changing, taking you to different parts of the map to do different quests, different tasks. But these portals, all they have to do is be present. That's it. And you do the same thing every single time to defeat it. And just to further back that up, while you're doing these breaches, you're getting gear, Azoth loot, XP, reputation standing in regions and everything, so it's honestly just a far superior method in my opinion. Now into the method as to what exactly it is. As you've probably noticed from the gameplay that's been going on while I'm talking, it's very simple and doesn't require much, except at least I would say 5 other people, but the more the merrier, you know, the more the merrier. However, you don't really want to be going above 50. As we found out the hard way, having around 100 people roam and do this, it basically just hurts your brain because you get a bunch of lemmings and mice just, oh, one person's running this way, oh, let's all just follow him, and then they would be going the most inefficient way or wasting time, or people just don't listen, they don't read the chat. It's just too many people. And basically, think about it. If everyone's split up, you're going to be running as a snake in a line, basically. You're not all going to be side by side. You're going to be running in a line. So the group of like 30 at the front, they're going to complete the portal or the breach before the back 30 even get there. And people are losing out on XP that way. So you want to try and keep this to less than, I'd say, 50 people. Now, as I mentioned not long ago, I would say if you're below level 20, I don't recommend doing this. But obviously getting level 20 isn't too difficult using the mainline quests and the side stories and all that stuff. It's pretty fast. I managed to get it within, I think, like 20 hours playtime, nothing crazy. So if you're not level 20, or I mean, if you just want to put all your perk points into Constitution, then you can, because it gives you more HP. But if you're not level 20, then I recommend going and getting level 20 and then coming back. So what are we actually going to be doing is farming the corruption breaches. These are events where corrupted enemies spawn at certain locations, and you must destroy the breach which makes them spawn. Simple as. Now, there are different types of breaches, different level breaches, and 2 sizes of breaches, which I will explain now. The different types of breaches are the monolith, the portal, the hive, and finally the grove. So, what is the monolith? The monolith breach is, I'd say, probably the easiest of them all, as literally all you do is fight some easy soft enemies with one, I wouldn't even say mini boss, I'd say it's like a better tough mob. It's really not that difficult. Then you break the outer layer of the corruption breach. Once you do this, another wave of easy and medium toughness mobs will spawn. You defeat these and then use Azoth staff to destroy the breach. Simple as. Now the portals are very simple as well. It's literally just waves of spawning corrupted enemies. That's it. Waves of spawning corrupted enemies, and then the final boss. That's it. You just get a final main boss, and then you close the portal with your Azoth staff. Pretty simple. The hives are also very easy. You kill 3 mobs guarding a door, and then you go and break the door, head inside into the enclosed area and defeat your main boss. Then use your staff to close the breach. The main boss will be the same as the portal main boss. There are 2 different types. You have the elk and the, I don't know what he's called, the big night man. Anyway, lastly is my least favorite to solo, which is the grove. This is a weird root tree looking thing which you must destroy along some easy medium toughness mobs. Then you destroy the breach. Bear in mind, the root does actually attack you, and it does a pretty lot of damage. Like, if I'm sat there on like 8,000 HP, which given I know isn't a lot, it will do about a quarter of that in one hit. And so I can't really solo these as a level 58 currently. So yeah, bear that in mind. Now, just a little tip for soloing these portals. If for some reason you can't manage to get a group or whatever and you just want to go and solo it, I recommend being about 10 levels above the recommended level, because even though you're the recommended level, you're still going to be taking massive amounts of damage. Unless you can, you know, dodge, block, and just completely outmaneuver the opponents or the enemies, the bots, what are they? The AI corrupted enemies, that's it. Then you're going to struggle a lot. So a tip for soloing would be that on all of the different types of breaches, aside from the portal, you don't actually need to kill the mobs once you expose the breach. So let's say, for example, on the monolith, you destroy the 3 main, you kill the 3 main enemies guarding the breach, then you destroy the outer layer of the breach, exposing the orb, or whatever you'd call it, to be destroyed by the Azoth staff. A couple more mobs will spawn. You can group them up, train them around, go over to the orb, use your Azoth staff, get a couple of progress on it, run away, run back, finish off the rest of the progress, because progress with your Azoth staff of destroying the breach saves. It's not like it resets like on a quest if you're collecting something and you get knocked off of it, or like if you're opening a supply crate and you get knocked off of it. The progress saves. It's like when you harvest something, the progress saves. So that's something you can do. If you're struggling too much to kill the enemies, you just run away, train, eat some food, heal up, go and tap some more progress into the portal, or the breach, sorry, and then eventually you'll destroy the breach and you won't have had to kill any of them.
Also, if you are finding yourself struggling gaining XP, so like you would complete a portal and you've gained no XP, or you complete a monolith and you've gained no XP and no rewards, it's probably because you've not done enough damage. I think the thing we figured out is that these are done based on the amount of damage or input you have on the breaches, as if you do no damage most of the time, you'll get no XP unless people in your group are doing XP, which is why we recommend inviting everyone to a group. But if you do literally no damage, then you shouldn't get any XP unless your group does an immense amount of damage. So if you're finding yourself getting no XP, then make sure you're getting in there and doing damage, or being the one to destroy the breach. The different levels of breaches is as simple as the different recommended level and the level of the mobs, meaning harder mobs but better gear. XP does not scale depending on the difficulty of the breach as far as I've tested. A level 25 small breach gives you the same amount of XP as a level 45 small breach. But that leads me on to the final detail in which you should know the sizes of the breaches. You have small breaches and big breaches. Simply put, small portals give you less XP, around 500 to 700, but take less effort, but the loot is worse. So essentially you'll be spending about, depending on how many there is of you, you'll spend about a minute. You'll get a 1-star, potentially a 2-star minor breach chest, which will give you 1 item, but then if you complete a big portal, which will require maybe 5 minutes of your time, you'll get a major breach chest, which gives you anywhere between 3 and 6 items. You usually find about 5 small portals accompanied by 1 big portal, or 1 big breach, sorry. A big breach can either be a monolith or a portal. This time the monolith requires 3 pillars to be destroyed by an Azoth staff before exposing the main breach closure that you still have to destroy an outer coat. So pretty much the easiest way to do this is to get someone to aggro the mobs. You get 3 people to go and destroy the outer pillars, get everyone attacking the main orb, then get someone on the Azoth staff while everyone else lures the minions away. It's pretty simple. The portals are literally the same as small portals, just with double the mobs, and that's about it. You get 1 big final boss, which is an ogre, which is actually super squishy and easy to kill as a group. If he runs around, then he'll cause trouble, but if you can kill him pretty quickly after spawning, then you will have no issues. Anyway, I think that about covers everything. Get roughly 600 XP for smaller breaches and about 2000 and above for big breaches. Sometimes I've managed to get somehow like 3,300 XP, but I think that's because of the reputation gain I've had and I've put it into XP boost. I'm not too sure. As I mentioned, big breaches give you major breach chests, which contain between 3 and 6 items. Small breaches give you small breach chests, where you only get 1 item. You will always see a star above the chest. The harder the difficulty, the more stars you get. Level 35 is a 1-star. Level 45 is 2 stars, occasionally a 1 though. And we haven't managed to get a 3-star yet, but we're going to try the level 65 recommended breaches at some point. We just need to get a big enough group for it. There's not too many 60s on our server at the moment. Well, there is, but a lot of them just don't talk. Anyway, just before I end this video, I will say that I got about 300 chests from my farming sessions. I opened and recorded myself opening them all. So if you're interested to see the insane items that I got from that, then let me know in the comments. It was a 1 hour long recording session, which I will have to cut down unless you want to see it in its entirety. But either way, still let me know if you'd like to see that. Also, one last thing. If you enjoy this different content, then let me know. I know this is probably new to people watching me, so if that's the case, please let me know what other New World content you want to see, and consider leaving a subscribe and liking so you don't miss a video, and I will bring it to you ASAP. I have some trading skill videos lined up, such as skinning, mining, leveling, etc. So like how to get your skinning level up the fastest. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.